Hey guys, so today we're going to film my 19 and pregnant story and how I found out. Okay, so I'm not really want to get into how I met Nary and all that. That's another video. But we had met my freshman year in college. I was 18 and he was, how old was he? 21? He was 21. Yeah, so I was a freshman in college and he was starting his junior year, I believe. And so we met, we started dating really quickly after we had met, and a year had gone by. We've been dating, and I was living on campus at my college, and he was still living with his parents here in our hometown. And so we would see each other all the time. It was a 30-minute drive from campus, and then from my house to his house here in town, or my parents' house, really quick. So we see each other all the time. It was like freaking love at first sight. I don't want to be cheesy, but we really did, like, clicked so quick. And yeah, so we just hung out all the time, best friends, lovey-dovey story. But, okay, so the day, well, I guess not the day, it was a weekend before. I don't want to get too many details because it's kind of gross, but it was like the weekend before I found out. I was living with my roommate, and we were talking about it, and I was like, I haven't started my period yet, like, what's going on? And I was just like, oh, whatever, I'm fine, like, it'll be okay. We were just talking about it, we were joking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I was pregnant? And Sarah, my best friend, we were just laughing, like, dude, that'd be crazy, because we knew a few other people at the time that we went to high school with that were pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh, it would be me and so-and-so and so-and-so, but we just blew it off, and we were kind of making jokes about it. And then it came to a weekend, and over the weekends we would come back to our own parents' house and stay here over the weekend because we live so close to our family, so we just stayed on the weekends over here. And I remember I was leaving my dorm, and I was telling her, I was like, Sarah, like, I still haven't started. And she was like, well, are you gonna take a test? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And it's like, maybe over the weekend, if I haven't started and it's Monday, I'll come back and we'll take one. Like, no big deal, and I'll take one with you and we'll see. And she was like, okay, cool. And we were just joking. I was like, Sarah, is my butt getting bigger? She was like, are you serious? But I don't know, I think I was just like, I guess because I knew, like, in the back of my head, subconsciously without knowing, like, without a pregnancy test or whatever. So I was just kind of joking about it. And then that same day I had left and I was planning to go eat with my cousin Angela. We were going to go eat at Olive Garden, which is a really funny story to us, but I'll say that in a second. We were going to go eat, and I had a pregnancy test just in my bathroom. I just had one before, and so I was like, maybe I'll just take it real quick, like, no big deal, I'll just take it, it'll be negative, it'll be okay. And so Angela was outside of my house already, and she was picking me up. I took one, and I was like, this is taking a little bit longer than any other ones I've taken, and this is taking, because usually when I take it, obviously I haven't been pregnant before, so it just takes like a few, maybe like a minute or even less to load. And I think they take like 3 minutes usually. And so this one was taking a little bit longer of time. And so I was kind of like staring at it, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I went and washed my hands, got my purse ready and stuff, and to go eat. And I went back and looked at it, and it said pregnant. I was seriously like shaking. I was holding the test, looking at it like, oh my god. And my mom was in the living room. I think she had like my nephews or something at the house, and I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? Angela's outside, my mom's in the living room, how am I gonna? So I went outside and told her, and I was like already crying, and I looked at her and I was like, Angela, like, what? And she was like, what is wrong? Like, what the heck happened? And I just told her, and I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, come again? Like, it was crazy. She was just in her car, like, thinking we were gonna go freaking eat at Olive Garden, and no, had other plans. Well, this is the funny part why I was laughing a second ago. We still went to eat at Olive Garden afterwards. But yeah, so she came inside and we were freaking out. I was crying. I had to like compose myself before I came back into the house so that my mom like wouldn't notice. And so we came in and we were talking about it, and I called my sister-in-law, and I couldn't even tell my sister-in-law. I had to have Angela tell her for me because I was freaking out, and I like couldn't even say it because I was crying so hard. And I mean, if anything, I was more nervous or like scared. I mean, I was excited. I don't know. It was just like a jumble of emotions, honestly. Especially, I mean, I was young. I was in college. I am in college. I had only been dating Neri for a year, and crazy feelings. But we came in, we were talking about it, I was crying, I had to like get myself together so I could just leave and be like, yeah mom, bye, we're going to Olive Garden, see you later. But yeah, we went and we talked about it, and I was scheduled to work later that afternoon, and I called my manager. That's a lot of shit. I called my manager and I was like, oh, we have a family emergency, I can't come in right now. I actually had Angela call my manager for me because I could not do it. I was just like so in shock. So I found that out, and then so I was texting Neri, and Neri had class that day, and I told him, I was like, don't go to your 12:30 class, like come straight home after work. And he was like, why, what's going on? I was like, nothing, just go home and I'll meet you at your house. And he was like, what the heck, okay. And I guess he might have had an idea, I don't know. And so I told him, I was like, just go home. And so me and Angela went to Olive Garden while he was still in class. And then we came home, and then I ended up going to my aunt's house and telling my aunt, and she was like, it's funny because she thought we were just gonna go like see her, but then we really had something to tell her, and so she looked at us and she was like, so why'd y'all come over? And we both looked at each other, and my aunt was like, which one of y'all is pregnant? And Angela goes, this one, pointing at me. Well, I mean, I was, but it was really funny. Anyways, that's not the point. This part at this point in time was not funny. But yeah, so we told my aunt, and then I went over to Neri's house, and I had the pregnancy test, and once I got to his house, he just like opened the door and I went straight in his house, straight to the room, and he was like, what is wrong with you? Like, talk to me. And I looked at him and I started kind of tearing up, and I pulled out the test out of my purse and handed it to him, and he looked at it and he was like, are you serious? Like, for real? And he asked me like freaking, I don't even, like 10 times if I was serious. Like, are you kidding? For real? Are you serious? And I was like, yes, Narek, I am serious. And so we just sat there, and I was like, what are we gonna do? And we just kept bouncing questions off each other back and forth, like, when are we gonna tell our parents, blah blah blah. And so yeah, that was a Friday that we found out, and we didn't tell our parents until that Sunday. And so that Friday we found out, and we were just kind of hanging out, and we didn't tell anybody really. Saturday came, and we were just still kind of talking about it. I mean, he had work and stuff, and so I had work, and I went in, and I just didn't know what to think. Like, I couldn't tell anybody, but all I was thinking about was, oh my god, I am pregnant. Like, 18 years old, again, in college, still, you know, in the middle of my life. And it's so scary. It was a scary feeling. But now I'm so in love with my baby, and we're so happy that we have him, and we wouldn't, I mean, change anything. But at the time, I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And so this same weekend, Friday, we found out. Saturday, we were just still kind of talking about it and like, what are we gonna do? And so Saturday night, Neri came and stayed at my dorm with me, because we were like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna tell our parents? And so we were like planning this out. And the next Sunday, we stayed around campus, because he goes to that school too. But we stayed there or whatever, and we went to go eat in the morning, and we were like pushing and like procrastinating on going to our houses, and we decided to go to his mom's house first, and then mine afterwards, because we were thinking that my parents would take it harder than his parents did, which was not the case. So we told his parents. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to, you know, make either of our parents look bad or whatever, but we told his parents first, and they did not take it the way they thought they would. They were really, I think, disappointed at first, of course. They kept asking, when are you going to finish school? You have to stay in school, and things like that, which I mean are valid questions, but yeah, so they took it harder. I went to tell my parents, and they were a lot happier. I was like, I didn't know what to say for both of our parents. Neri told his parents, and I told mine. And it was crazy. And we were sitting in front of Neri's parents in the kitchen, just like all quiet. We were like, we have to talk to you. And literally it was probably a good 20 minutes before anybody said anything until Neri finally was like, Jessica is pregnant. And then after that, nobody said anything for a while either, and it was just kind of, it was hard. But then my parents, we went and we told them, or it was kind of hard too. I was like, well, we have to talk to you. Can y'all come over here? And I couldn't really say it, and I was just kind of smiling at my parents because I'm the type of person that I laugh, like when I'm uncomfortable or when I'm, you know, don't really want to say what I have to say, I laugh. And so my dad was like, is it what I think it is? I was like, probably. And he's like, well, tell your mom. And I was like, no, like what? You tell her. She was looking at me like she had no idea what I was even trying to say. My dad was like, come on. So he asked me, he looked at me, he was like, are you pregnant? I was like, yes I am. And I was just crying at this point. He wasn't like yelling at me or anything, but I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you gonna say? My mom was like, no way, are you kidding? The same thing that Neri was. She was like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Is this a joke? It's like, no mom, it's not a joke. Yeah, and they were actually really happy. They were surprised. They already had they had my 2 nephews already, so they were used to the idea of being grandparents in general. But yeah, they were more happy for me. They were like, it's a blessing, it's, you know, it's exciting, your plans will change, and you know, it's kind of like a little detour, but you don't have to derail your whole life, you know. And so my dad kind of gave us some comfort, but I mean, it was hard to tell them. Like, I didn't know what to do, so I told my aunt first so that she could help me, because I didn't know what to say. But like I said, it's a crazy feeling. I mean, I'm not in any way like condoning, you know, teen pregnancy or anything, because if you can wait. But things happen, life happens, everything happens for a reason. At the time, it was really hard, and I was freaking out, and I was so scared. But now that I'm living it, now that I'm a mom to the most beautiful baby, it's doable. And we're so happy, and we wouldn't change any of that. And that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my story about how I found out I was pregnant at 19 years old. If you have any more suggestions or story times you guys want to see, leave those in the comments down below. And don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks y'all. Bye.